Hi guys, I'm Solaris. Welcome to my channel, Solaris Fairy Astrology and Tarot, where I channel for you all sorts of psychic messages to help you in your love life using astrology, tarot cards, and oracle cards. Today's video is, what did they think about your last conversation? In addition to this reading, I'm also offering an extended where I'm going to channel for you, what was your person thinking about you late last night? What does your person think and feel about you now that you guys have had this conversation? Advice for you specifically from goddesses, ascended masters, and fairies in regards to your connection, and what will happen during your next conversation. So if you're curious about any of that, then definitely check out the extended. Today you have 3 piles to choose from. The first pile is this big chocolate chip cookie and the rose quartz crystal with the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reid. Pile 2 features this rainbow, this sparkly crystal, and the unicorn tarot cards. Pile 3 features this colorful stack of donuts, the Fabled Hedgehog tarot cards, and this rose quartz crystal. When you have chosen the pile you would like to watch, go to the description box and scroll down to where you see the timestamps. Click on the timestamp that matches your pile, and that will take you to your reading. I'll see you there. Bye. Hi, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading today. I hope you liked my cookie dough video. Clearly you like chocolate chip cookies, like me. So I'm glad you guys picked this pile. You guys have picked The Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reid, which I love. This is one of my favorite tarot card decks. You guys have also picked this beautiful rose quartz, which I will put in frame for you, so you will bless your reading as I channel for you today. And you guys picked the chocolate chip cookie. All right, so today we are focusing on what did your person think about your last conversation? So that is a very interesting, very juicy topic. Let's see. I'm so glad I can check in for you. All right, so first I'm going to do a regular relationship spread to see what is going on in this connection right now. This is also a way for you to confirm if this is your pile or if another pile is more of a fit for you. And this is also a way for you to verify if you see their zodiac signs or if it just kind of feels right or feels like you. If this is your pile, then there are messages in here for you. Even if you feel like it may not be quite your situation, there still might be messages in this pile for you, or you might pick a different pile. All right, so for these cards, I have what you are thinking and feeling about your last conversation with your person, how you felt it went. How did your person feel like your last conversation went with you? What happened in the past? What happened in the conversation? So this is how you guys think about the conversation, and this is what happened in the conversation. This is how the conversation is going to kind of affect the future, if at all. Some conversations are important. Some of them are more just casual. So try to think of a conversation that you guys had, or this is supposed to be more about a conversation that you guys had that was more on the important side. So maybe your last more important of the conversations. So this is how the future might be affected because of the conversation. And this is more of a longer term outcome. And I would say this outcome is going to be more kind of like, where are you guys going together as a couple? So I'm going to change it a little bit. Okay, so how do you feel the last conversation with you guys went? And I will take reversals. So I get the Chariot in reverse, I get the Queen of Wands in reverse, and I get the Hermit. So maybe you feel like the last conversation ended the connection. Maybe you feel like you retreated or you didn't say what you feel like you wanted to or should have said. Maybe you feel like your relationship just kind of was going in circles, not progressing, or that it was a very unproductive conversation that you're like, you know what, this is wasting my time, or this isn't really productive, or this is the same thing over again, but it's not really making any progress. That's not really making any progress. Maybe you felt like you weren't as assertive as you could have been. Maybe you felt like you were being graceful and you were being I feel like you were toning down your energy. I don't feel like you were watering down your energy. I feel like maybe you think you were being very wise and evolved. So I get the Hermit upright. This is also Capricorn, Virgo energy. So these signs also might be present in your connection, but don't have to be. So maybe you felt like you were being very wise. Maybe you feel like you were trying to search for wisdom as you were having the conversation. Like maybe you were texting and you were asking ChatGPT or something. It seems like that. Also, it seems like maybe you were trying to speak from a higher place, from a place of wisdom. But also maybe you felt like you guys were not connecting, that you were feeling isolated or alone in your opinion of it. Like maybe you felt like, I don't feel closeness here. I don't feel like we're bonding or connecting. I feel maybe you felt like this conversation broke you guys up, or you guys are still kind of not together because of it or with it. Maybe you felt like it didn't bring you guys together. So there is that. So I get the Hermit. Maybe you guys went from that place to like a place of, going to your respective corners and calming down, or not talking to each other afterwards. Maybe you guys need some time. I don't feel like to cool off, because I don't think you got hot-headed, because I get the Queen of Fire in reverse. That is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. And I get the Chariot energy, which is Cancer. So I'm getting these signs showing up. And I'm getting that it seems kind of like you felt like maybe it wasn't productive, it wasn't really moving this relationship along or moving forward, but you were not losing your temper or losing your cool, but you are maybe not as confident and assertive as you could have been. Or maybe you felt like, wow, I should have said this, I should have advocated for myself, or I should have spoken up about that, or maybe I should have been more forceful or stronger about this. Maybe you were repressing your anger as well. So those are some options. How did your person feel like the conversation went from their point of view? Well, they definitely feel like it didn't get you guys back together. They definitely feel that they were open and they did share a lot. And they felt like they maybe were very impulsive, or I don't want to say reactive in the conversation, but I want to say that they were very impulsive. Maybe they were a little impatient in the conversation from their point of view. And this is from their side, yeah. So 6 of Cups in reverse. I feel like they think that maybe this was an attempt to repair the conversation, or like repair the connection, or it was an attempt to get you guys back together, but it did not work. It did not succeed or did not happen. So the 6 of Cups in reverse. But I do feel like that your person felt a lot of soulmate love towards you. And maybe they were trying to use this conversation to get back together with you, but it did not work. Or maybe they feel like it wasn't as effective as they hoped it would be. And then also I'm getting, with the 6 of Cups in reverse, Cancer energy. 7 of Pentacles or 7 of Coins in reverse. This card of impatience. Usually when it's upright, it's about patience, planting seeds, building towards a future. Maybe your person felt like the conversation was about telling them that you guys were not moving towards a future. Or maybe you felt, or like maybe they thought that you were telling them that you guys did not have a future, or could not be together in the future, or could not progress this relationship towards a future. Like I get the Chariot in reverse and the Hermit. Maybe you guys felt like you guys were in, like this was a conversation where you guys went into separation. So there is this, but feeling like you guys were not building towards a future, or feeling maybe they also felt unable to progress this towards a future. With this conversation, maybe they also felt like it wasn't very productive or did not fulfill the intentions. Maybe your person also felt like your person may have wanted to plant seeds towards a future, or plant the seeds, or drop hope for a future, but then it didn't happen, or wasn't realized, or didn't actualize in that way. But yeah, maybe your person felt like you were impatient, or that you wanted things right now, but like that wasn't able to happen. And then maybe they felt impatient, like they wanted things to happen right now, but they weren't able to. Like I feel like they thought you wanted things right now, but you weren't able to get them. And they wanted things right now, but they weren't able to get them. And so maybe they felt like you guys were wanting things right now, but it wasn't able to be possible, or that wasn't able to happen. And then I get the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, which is a card about opening up, at least, which is good. And maybe even letting each other go, or feeling like you guys had to let each other go, or had to honor each other's freedom, or had to kind of not restrict your person, or they not restrict you. Maybe they felt like they had to be free right now, or you had to be free right now. So that kind of energy. What actually happened in this conversation? How did it actually go? Besides, okay, well, actually, you felt like you were not as assertive as you could have been. What happened was you actually were. I get the Empress. So maybe you felt like you held your tongue, or you held your anger, or you weren't as assertive or as like direct as you could have been. Maybe you weren't as like strong or as empowered as you thought you could have been or wanted to be. Maybe you felt more reserved than you, because maybe you felt like if you were direct, that would be bad. And so you felt you were more soft about it. Maybe you were more wise about it. Then you were wise and didn't let your temper rule you. Well, I get that you came across, and what you actually did was you were the Empress. You actually presented like a major evolved Empress. You were very much in an evolved state. You were in a really good place. You also came across really beautiful and gorgeous physically if you saw them in person. If you didn't, I feel like you very much presented graceful, but also like nurturing and kind, but also empowered and strong, and like a strong gentleness, courage, confidence. And if you did not feel confident, you definitely were confident. Like it definitely seems like you, not that they interpreted you as confident, but just that like you were actually very empowered with what you did and how you said it. And then I get the 8 of Cups. Okay, you guys did separate. You guys did walk away. So I do get that. So the 8 of Cups, you guys did separate. You did walk away. And then I get the 3 of Cups in reverse. Also, if there was a third party situation, I feel like you guys either ended that or you guys said how you were not going to be in a third party. If this conversation was about cheating, then I feel like you stood your ground and you were like, no, I'm not going to do that, or no, you can't do that. The 3 of Cups is in reverse, so it wasn't like a happy, fluffy conversation. It wasn't like a celebration, and maybe there wasn't a victory or like a happy outcome to this. I feel like you stood your ground, you were the Empress, and maybe walked away from your person, or maybe your person and you both decided mutually to walk away, or they decided to walk away, but you really came across as the Empress. And with the 3 of Cups in reverse, if you or they are in a relationship, maybe you were like, okay, well, we can't be together if one of us is in a relationship. If there was cheating, maybe you guys talked about cheating or that kind of energy, because I get third party. If you guys weren't talking about romantic other influences, you guys were talking about family or friends or kids or other influences that were other people involved. So I do feel like you guys were able to talk about that. There was not maybe a resolution about that, or maybe you guys chose not to move forward because of outside influences or pressure, that kind of thing. And it also seems like maybe the conversation was sad. It seems like it wasn't a happy conversation. Maybe it was a sad conversation. How is this conversation affecting or influencing your future together as a duo? Well, number one, it didn't hurt it at all. If anything, it only strengthened it. It actually strengthened it. Probably the most it could ever strengthen it. So number one, I get the Strength card. And I know sometimes strength can represent holding each other, holding oneself back or restricting oneself. But no, I'm not getting that with these other cards and with the cards I'm seeing down here. So I would say actually it strengthened your relationship. It strengthened your bond. Empress, also I'm getting Leo, Taurus, Cancer energy. And I'm getting Leo energy with the Strength card. So it strengthened your bond, actually. It actually deepened your connection. If anything, the truth that came out and the wisdom and the grace that was employed was beautiful. Even if the outcome was to separate, the dynamics and the interactional patterns between you guys and the cycles between you guys, actually, it seems like it was positive. And I get the 8 of Fire. You guys will actually have a follow-up conversation to this. You guys are going to have another conversation. This is the card of 8 of Wands, which is a card of communication, things happening fast, things speeding up. So probably sooner than later. If you're watching this when I'm releasing it in Leo season, you probably will have this actually happen in Leo season. So there is this. So I get the Strength card, Leo, and the 8 of Wands can also be Leo, especially with the 8 of the month, which is like, 8th, which is the 8th month, which is Leo, which is August. So I would say you guys could have another follow-up conversation in August, probably Leo season. So if you're watching this when I'm releasing it, it's probably soon. If you are watching this at a later time in the year, then I would say see what happens this summer or what happens late summer. Because I would say, yeah, that actually you'll have a follow-up conversation or another conversation about this. It's a strength. It strengthens your bond. It strengthens your dynamic. It strengthens your future relationship, actually. And I get love. So actually, either if there was a wounding from this conversation, there actually will be a repair. which is the strongest part of couples therapy, by the way. If you guys have an argument, the repair is the most crucial part and very important to have. You can fight, try to fight fair, try to fight loving, try to, not fight mean as much as possible, even though sometimes it happens. But after that, it's definitely very important to have the repair and come back together and have that closeness, and that's very good. So I love it. And actually, I get the love card, so I feel like, and here's Gemini energy. I'm actually feeling in Sagittarius energy with the 8 of fire. I'm feeling you guys are actually having a very, very, very strong love, and if anything, it might have actually strengthened the love and strengthened the bond. And where are you guys going together in general as a couple? I get the 7 of Cups. Yeah, you guys might not have a commitment, or you might not commit right away, or you guys might not commit in the near future. But I do feel like it strengthens the bond, and where your person feels like maybe it did not lay down the appropriate groundwork to plant the seeds for the future, I actually feel like it actually probably did. Also, I feel like it might have thrown you guys a little bit into fantasy land or fantasy mindset, or maybe it reawokened emotions that were maybe dormant or on the back burner as well. So there is this, but I actually feel like it actually helped your dynamics. Okay, now I'm going to go to that's Cancer energy and Pisces energy. Okay, now I'm going to go to what did your person think about your last conversation? So I'm going to pull some thought cards. I'm going to pull out some messages from Divine Masculine. I also want to pick out some emotions too. So I'm also going to pick out Ocean of Emotion. So what do they feel about your last conversation? I'm also going to pull out some Hermits. I know I should do this one by one, but I guess I have to do this all. So I guess I'm going to be layering it. Okay. All right. And then maybe we'll do some light side, shadow side messages. Maybe what are some lights? What are some shadows or trigger wounds that were activated by this conversation? And then I'm going to actually put that separate. And then I'm going to, keep that separate. We're going to see some triggers and what wounds were there. And actually I'm going to also blend Stellar Energy Oracle. So we're going to also add a little bit of this. All right. So, and we may not even have an interactive piece in this video. Who knows? If you guys watched my last video. If you guys watched my last video about Leo labels, that was a very intense video, actually, for most of you watching. 5 piles. And for the pile 3, if you guys are here from pile 3, you guys might. Actually, it feels similar to pile 3's energy from that video. I would say, you don't have to be from pile 3, but just saying, you could be, because it does feel similar. But I would say that if you guys are here from pile 3, or if you watch that video, pile 3's video broke structure completely and did not have the traditional pick a pile at the end part, which I usually have been doing lately. Also, I feel like if you guys picked pile 2, which was also very interesting, which was more of like from the higher self perspective, what their higher self was wanting from you and hoping your person would do, which was very also against what I had planned. Like, I would say that was a curveball. I did not anticipate. You guys might be here from that pile, and that was a very interesting dynamic. So yes, lately I have been going different directions than I have planned initially. So that's interesting. All right. And if you guys have not checked out that video, you might want to, because that was actually a very interesting, very powerful video. All right. Some of my videos stand out to me more than others. So these are all your messages, actually, because I feel like that your conversation actually was a very, very big one. It was very powerful, and there was a lot there, but this is separate. Okay, so not interested in pursuing other options and only want to remain loyal to you. So your person from that conversation, they felt like they wanted to be monogamous and loyal to you, even if they were not ready to have a commitment yet. I feel like that emotionally, it steered them more in your direction. They want to be more loyal to you. And I feel like maybe they weren't able to voice that. But I feel like, or maybe they voiced it and you didn't believe them. But it does seem like that they want to be loyal to you and that they are like kind of hyper focused on you at the moment. And then I get sweet. And I'm not taking reversals for this. Okay, cool. So I'm not taking reversals for oracles. And it says, I love the sweetness of your soul and the taste of your kisses. So your person was nostalgic, remembering how you kissed. If your last conversation involved a makeout session, it landed very well with your person. It definitely was very strong, and your person liked it. But I would say that your person also felt like you were very sweet in the conversation, even if maybe you were trying to be. Maybe you were trying to not come across aggressive. So your person thought you were actually being very sweet. And it definitely your sweetness and your kindness with them, and the way that you were graceful, and way you were very much in your feminine. Even if maybe at sometimes you felt like you weren't in your feminine, you were. I feel like you actually were in your feminine, more than you think. And then what's beautiful is it seems like, yeah, that worked. And that dynamic and aspect of the conversation really helped to attract your person, magnetize them to you, soften their heart, and make their heart want to connect and bond with you. Also, I feel like if you were the one who initiated the conversation, or maybe you're thinking about kissing you is what led them to reach out to you, because I get the card reach out. So maybe thinking about kissing you led them to reach out. Maybe they reached out because they wanted to tell you that they wanted to be loyal to you and they didn't want to have any other options, that they wanted to be with you exclusively. Even if they couldn't be with you exclusively now, then one day for sure. So there is this. And then I get poetic justice. I also feel like they felt like, you know what, I kind of deserved that. I think that they maybe felt like they deserved more of a slap back than they got. I feel like they deserved karma, or they felt like you were very fair with them. You were very fair. You were very just. You were very... they deserved something. they deserved just maybe a little correcting, or they definitely deserved a little like something, you know, and they felt like you were very sweet in the way that you doled out your justice. You were very sweet in the way that you were maybe gracious about things. So you handled things very gracious, and they felt like you took mercy on them, I feel. And also because of that aspect, they wanted to make out with you. They wanted to kiss you because of it. All right. I feel like you didn't let them off the hook, but in a way they were let off the hook in a way. Like I feel like you were very, just gracious about it. You see right through me like no other. They felt like you saw them deeply when you guys had that conversation. You probably spoke about them in a very true, accurate way. Also, there might have been things that you said that showed what you saw but didn't even say, if that makes sense. Like how you reacted and interacted in this conversation. Number one, I think you did a very good job. It seems like what I'm getting as a message is actually you did a very good job. And it seems like that the way that you handled it, you knew more than you were letting on, but your actions showed that you knew more. And you kind of, I want to say like you called your person out on and jumped ahead and saw through the mess and were able to untangle it and itemize it. So your person felt very seen. I get that they are mad at themselves right now. They are mad at themselves that you guys have parted ways. They feel like, wow, pile one called me out and they saw right through what I was trying to do. And I'm mad. And I get the anger. And they are mad that it didn't work. They are mad that you guys parted ways, because it says parting ways. They are angry that you guys walked away from each other, or that it failed, or that the attempt to get back together did not work. I feel like your person is mad at themselves. I feel like they are mad at the situation that it didn't work, just mad that it didn't work. And I get gossip only hurts more. And I feel like your person is also maybe a little worried, like, uh-oh, is pile one gonna now tell all their friends what I said and did? So I think they're a little bit like, crap. There's this. So there is that aspect and dynamic. Now, your person also feels like they had to walk away, or that they chose to walk away. And in the past, they feel bad about it. So the conversation you guys had made them even regret even more if they left you or walked away from you in the past. Either way, this conversation, if you guys separated or split up or walked away from each other with that Eight of Cups, you guys most likely did, and I'm reading it like you did, that they regret sincerely walking away even more now. So they regret walking away during this conversation or after this conversation. They regret walking away during the previous time when they actually walked away, if they walked away before. So if they walked away before and then you guys had to talk about it, they regretted having to walk away in the past, because I'm getting past life. So some of you, I mean, this is a past life connection, and maybe you guys, you know, didn't talk about maybe you talked about your past life, which is rare. But if you did talk about your past life, then I would say that maybe, I feel like, again, it's also even more rare if your person is like, oh yeah, I feel that too, or past life like this. Because your person has to be like super, super metaphysical to be on that page, but who knows, maybe they are. So, it says, yes, please know I sincerely regret walking away, past life. So they regret walking away in the past. They also regret walking away every time they see your pictures, or every time they see pictures of you guys together, or videos of you guys together, or, you know, your memories together, and remember your memories together. Also, I feel like your person, if you guys split up in the past and then you had the conversation, they regretted it. If walking away. If you guys had the conversation and then it led to you guys walking away, they regretted that. If they felt like they had no other choice but to walk away, they regret having to walk away now, or they wish they didn't have to walk away now. So there is all this. Then I get, you make my heart full. So they absolutely felt like in the conversation that you made their heart so happy. You made their heart so happy, weirdly. Maybe you gave them some validation. Maybe you were like, I'm so sad I have to leave you. And they felt, wow, I affect her so much. And I'm so validated in that I am important, you know, that kind of thing, for whatever reason. Or maybe you complimented them and, you know, you threw them a bone. But yeah, it seems like, yeah, they definitely feel like, wow, my heart is full with pile one. And also having to walk away made them love you even more. Does that make sense? They love you even more in your estrangement, or in your having to leave each other, or not being able to have you. And then it says irresponsible. I can't keep it together, and I know I've already screwed things up. So I feel like probably your person screwed things up, especially with the Justice card and you guys having to separate. Either way, your person feels like, I messed up a lot in the past. I made a lot of bad choices or wrong moves and wrong choices. And not only that, because of this conversation, I feel like I'm also screwing this up. So your person actually felt like they were also screwing this conversation up, especially because it did not lead to the result that they were intending or wanting, and because you guys parted ways. And I think they're like, oh my God, how did that happen? I think they're almost a little bewildered, like stunned, like the conversation did not work to get you guys back together. And also I feel like they're like, oh my God, and here we go again, and I messed it up again. I feel like your person feels like a dumbass. Also, if your person made some bad choices where they were highly irresponsible, I feel like your person regrets their irresponsible actions. Feeling nostalgic about our past and wishing we were together again. Absolutely, yes. This is so very completely connected. So absolutely that. And then responsible. Okay. So your person feels like if they had a second chance with you, if they could be together again with you, they would be so much more responsible. It says, I need to start saving myself instead of everyone else. They also feels like they wish they could be together with you, but they have to save themselves first. Maybe they feel like they have to get their life together first, or they have to save themselves first, or they have to fix a situation in their life first. And it says, I am manifesting you, and cold shoulder. I feel like they think maybe you ended up giving them the cold shoulder, or they even had to give you a cold shoulder if they didn't want to. But either they feel like you ended up giving them the cold shoulder, especially probably you with the Hermit, and then I am manifesting you. So I feel like they're like, but I was trying to get back together with pile one and they weren't having it. Or I was trying to manifest pile one in, but I just got the cold shoulder. Or, you know, they're like, I'm so nostalgic about being together again with pile one, but I can't let that in right now. And I'm really, really manifesting an opportunity with pile one. So I feel like they're trying to manifest you back or manifest an opportunity with you. Also, numbers that I get is I get the number 1, I get 10, and then I get 1. So I'm getting 11, I'm getting 10, I'm getting January, I'm getting October, I'm getting November, I'm getting the 10th of the month and the 1st of the month. seeing the signs and synchronicities that are guiding me towards sacred union. The conversation just reinforced the fact that you guys should be together to your person. It just reinforced, like, you know what? This is why pile one's the best for me. This is why pile one is right for me. This is why pile one sees me like no one, makes my heart happy like no one, why I want to be loyal to them like no one. And I feel like there are external circumstances that are maybe interfering with this connection right now, because there's a reason why you guys are not together, but that your person wants to be, but maybe you guys felt like it wasn't the right timing, you couldn't be. Your person wants to surprise you with another message or another letter. Okay. So seeing the signs and synchronicities that are guiding me towards sacred union, your person absolutely wants to come forward. Your person is feeling even more guided because of this conversation that you guys should be together, or you guys are absolutely perfect together, or really good together. And then I get surprise, and it says, I have a beautiful surprise planned for you. This conversation makes them think, okay, I need to plan something else. This did not work. I need to try again. I need to regroup. I need to try harder. I need to do something else. So I get surprise. So your person wants to surprise you, and they miss you. It says, I miss you, do you? They also aren't quite sure if you miss them. So there is this, but they miss you. They're not sure, though, if you miss them back or feel the same intensity. And then I get love letter. So I think your person's going to write you a letter or write you a text or write you a message where they tell you how much they miss you. So there is that. And they're going to surprise you with it. You're not going to expect it. I feel like at least your person right now, because of the conversation, has thought they want to do this. At least they're intending or planning on doing this now. So I feel like your person wants to surprise you out of the blue in the future with a message saying that they miss you. So there is that. All right, now we're going to see what did this conversation trigger in them with their shadow side wounds and their evolved emotions. Oh, it's 31. Okay, so this is going to be your final message, and then we're going to go to the extended. So, honestly, I don't even know what I'm going to cover in the extended today. I will pull some messages and then use some card decks that I love. So we'll go focus on the extended. But this is going to be your final message. Oh, right, and oh no, I already combined Stellar Energy Oracle. Did I? Yes. Yeah, I did. Well, then we're going to have to blend this with something else, because I feel like you need more than just this final message. Well, maybe not. We'll do this. Okay, we'll do 4 for each pile. There we go. That'll be good. And I'll do 3 piles. This is your final message. This is interactive. You're going to pick your pile based on the crystal that you're drawn to, or maybe the pile you're drawn to, whichever one. Let's see. And I would say pick 1 pile. You can pick multiple piles if you really want more messages, but I would say probably 1 pile makes more sense for this situation. Okay, so for the first crystal, this crystal has been calling to me all reading. I keep staring at it. So I love this smoky quartz. Smoky quartz is very strong for past life energy, and you did get the past life card. If you feel a very strong past life connection with your person, you might be connected to pile 1. Not necessarily that you have to be, but there is this. For the second crystal I am drawn to, I have your beautiful titanium heart. Your beautiful, beautiful, sparkly, sparkly heart will represent pile 2. And for pile 3, ooh, I feel this one. I feel this beautiful golden sheen obsidian. So we have a very sexy dark chocolate chip cookie today. Okay. So we have a lot of like deep protective crystals, very like a deep connection, a connection that has a lot of like mystery and intrigue to it, a lot of protectiveness. Okay, so feel free to pick pile 1, 2, and or 3, which deep crystal you're drawn to, mystical one, and pause the video if you need more time to decide which pile is yours, and unpause the video whenever you're ready. Okay, guys, so I'm so glad you guys are here with me. I'm just going to rush through this because I know you guys have been watching these so many times that it can be a lot to hear this every day, every video. So first, thank you for your likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel. Welcome to the channel, and I send you all my love. I hope you guys stick around. Thank you for watching my ads first for 30 seconds on silent and then returning to the video after 30 seconds. That really helps me in the channel. It helps grow the channel, and it helps give me credit And also thank you guys so much for the donations that you've made to the channel. If you guys would like to send in a donation, which helps me buy cards and crystals and all sorts of fun things, the information is in the description box with my PayPal and my Venmo, and my super thanks button is on here as well. So thank you guys so much as well for that. If you guys want a private reading, you guys can go to fairyastrology.com. The link is in the description box, and I give readings based on your situation, your love life, or anything else. It's in 15-minute intervals, so the pricing is structured that way, and just pick whichever one fits your budget and your needs. And I can give you guys a private reading over the phone or over video call using all the cards that I have and answering any question you have in astrology and all of that. So if you need my help, I am here for you. All right. So for those of you who have picked this beautiful smoky quartz, this conversation in your person, they triggered some of their wounds and some of their positive qualities. So I get light side messages. There's 2 of them, and then 2 shadow sides. So for the light side, your person, I keep getting signs that remind me of you. Yes. Okay. So this conversation, it really, again, this is further confirmation that your person really got signs and synchronicities that you guys are really good together. You know, sometimes we have bad outcomes or an unfavorable outcome to a conversation, but it still kind of reminds us like, man, this is why they get me so much. This is why we have such a connection. You know, so I feel like your person is like, man, we have such a connection. You know, maybe it even was as simple as you guys being able to talk through hard things. But it does seem like your person was feeling like, wow, this just confirms for me why pile 1 is so great, why we should be together. And then it says, you are my best friend. Okay, maybe you guys are best friends. And maybe it really reinforced to them that you guys are best friends. And maybe it really showed them that you guys really have such a close bond. Like, wow, I should be with my best friend. And we have like a best friend energy. The wounds that were triggered in your person during this conversation, it says, I've found safety in the silence between us. So it triggered a wound of feeling unsafe emotionally or physically. I mean, I don't think physically. I mean, there wasn't violence. But I would say that maybe it triggered their feeling of self-protection, where they need to protect their vulnerability. And they were like, maybe I need to withdraw. Maybe life was like, I need to not be so close right now, proximity-wise or physically-wise, because there was that walking away. Maybe your person was like, I need to walk away right now. And it does seem like a temporary walking away, but maybe it is like a temporary silence, maybe a temporary separation. And yeah, so your person has found safety in the silence between us. So maybe your person feels safe to regroup by having some alone time and figuring it out. Maybe your person feels like, whoo, that was a lot. That was intense. Let me just recharge and clear my own energy and get myself back, on track. Maybe I need to get myself back together. And then I'm trying to bury my love for you. So I feel like your person might be trying to, and it's interesting because with that strength card, I didn't get that they were trying to self-restrict. But maybe if you guys have walked away or they can't have you, maybe they're trying to move on. Maybe they're like trying to be cool with it. Maybe they're trying to respect your wishes. Maybe they're trying to be like, you know what, I can't have pile 1 right now. So maybe I just need to like put my head down and work real hard or live my life or do my thing or focus on myself or go where I need to go. You know, it's almost kind of like your person feels like, all right, let me just focus on my life. And maybe pile 1 will be more open to me later. Or maybe we could try again later. But you know, man, I feel so connected to pile 1, but I can't feel that right now for whatever reason. Maybe they just need a break from feeling and unplug for a while and then, plug back in. I get this titanium heart for pile 2. So for you guys, your person was feeling very triggered, 3 of them, and then a light side. So a light side message. Can you forgive me? Can you try to understand me? Your person feels like maybe they weren't able to get the forgiveness that they wanted in that conversation. They also felt like you saw through them on some level, because this is the light side message. They felt understood. They felt heard, validated, and understood. And I feel like, but they still may not be sure if you could understand all the reasons why they did what they did or why they are who they are. And also they may not feel totally 100% forgiven, but I feel like they have hope that you could forgive them. And maybe you did forgive them. Maybe you did understand them. And they were hoping for that. So there is this. The shadows, where they were triggered, your person, they felt vulnerable. I destroyed your confidence in me. Yes, okay. So your person doesn't know if you can forgive them, and also they feel like, ah, damn it. I lost pile one's confidence and faith in me. Man, I'm not forgiven. Maybe they were like, I was hoping for forgiveness and I wasn't forgiven. They understood me, but they didn't forgive me. And maybe they forgave me, but they don't trust me now. You know, like that kind of thing. So they feel like they're like, oh no, I destroyed their confidence in me. So maybe they were like, they gave me grace, they gave me forgiveness, they gave me love, they gave me understanding, but they won't be with me because they won't be with somebody who does blah, blah, blah. And now I just showed pile one that I'm not a good bet. I'm not a good pick for them. My childhood was difficult and it still affects me. Maybe they're like, but I showed them I'm not good enough for them. And that's a wound I carry from childhood, that I'm just not good enough for somebody. I'm not good enough for them, or that I don't have what it takes. So maybe their wound of not being good enough, or their wound of not being forgiven or understood, or their wound of somebody not believing in them is a childhood wound. So it might connect back to like mother-father issue. And then it says, I'm secretly heartbroken. So I feel like they feel heartbroken about that. They are heartbroken maybe if you guys can't be together, if you guys have separated or ended things or broken up. I feel like they feel heartbroken that you guys haven't been able to click or connect, that you guys haven't been able to plan a future. Maybe they're heartbroken by the circumstances. But yeah, your person is grieving and sad and heartbroken. All right, now for this golden sheen obsidian. It's beautiful, lovely crystal here. Your person. Okay, so we have a light message, and then we also have 3 more shadows. So your person, I'm sorry for leaving you hanging. They feel bad if they ghosted you, stopped talking to you, walked away from you, did not answer you in an appropriate, timely manner, or left your life or fizzled things out. For whatever reason, they were not able to be reliable, most likely. They left you hanging, and they are sorry for that. I do feel like your person is, and hopefully in the conversation they did say sorry. So there is this. Then I get, I'm afraid to open up to anyone. So it seems like your person was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to open up to anyone. But I feel like they did with you with that 4 of Pentacles in reverse. So I feel like your person was afraid and vulnerable to open up, but they did it anyway. And they pushed through it. And maybe it's because you created such a safe space for them to open up. But it seems like, yeah, they opened up to you when they weren't able to open up to you. And the reason why they left you hanging was because they were afraid to open up to you before. They were afraid to open up to you in the past. But they were afraid to still open up to you now, and they did. And they fought through that. They fought through their shadows there. Then, my emotions are like a roller coaster right now. It was very triggering. The conversation absolutely made their emotions spike up and down, made them feel elated and depressed and happy and hopeful and excited and angry at themselves and, shame, maybe guilt. So your person felt like that. And then I need to focus on my finances right now. And so your person felt like, all right, I need to take care of my physical life, my financial life, my external life right now. All right, well, that is my final message for you guys. And I know we've gone a little long. I feel like your conversation was super deep and we needed to go there. I'm gonna put this down here. All right, for you, I'm going to get you guys some advice. So first of all, I'm going to pick fun decks that I do love, that I always like to use in the extended. So I have Chocolate Candy Kisses, Sugar Rush of Love, more insight into their mysterious heart and what they were thinking about you late last night. Also, I have Ascended Masters, Goddesses, and Fairies to give you guys some advice in regards to this dynamic and this situation here. All right, one more thing. And I'm going to use something different, okay? Because we are nearing the end of August, this starts to give a prelude to the fall. I'm going to use my Let's Fall in Love Oracle deck, my fall deck, to focus on, because of everything that's happened and your advice and insight into their psyche and all that, what will your next conversation be now? So in the extended, I'm going to look at, and what will your next conversation be? And I'm using my fall deck because it's in the future, and the fall is a little bit in the future, but it's not too far off in the future. So let's fall in love. What will your next conversation be like with them? All right, guys, that is what I'm going to focus on in the extended. If you guys want to join me there, feel free to go to the description box now and scroll down. You are pile 1. You are the chocolate chip cookie. Also, I didn't say this in the beginning, but I apologize for not having those pillows here. I was actually at a cookie dough place where they give raw cookie dough, which is so yummy and cool. And I was like enjoying my little summer, and I was like, oh my gosh, I should do a cookie dough video. So I went there and I was going to feature all little cookie doughs, but they didn't have different colored cups and spoons and shit. So I was like, all right, well, I'm done with that. So they had pillows and I took them there. But anyways, that's why I don't have the pillow here, because it does not belong to me. Anyways, I hope you join me in the extended. Sending you guys all my love. See you later. Bye. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading today. I am so glad you guys are here with me. We want to know, what did they think about your last important conversation? Pile 1's was a lot. So I'm curious to see what your person is going to think about, or what they're thinking about your last important conversation. Interesting. Okay. You guys have picked a couple of fun things. So the intro was filmed at this really fun cookie dough place. So fun. And you guys might have heard of it. I don't know. It has like raw cookie dough and I love it in the summer. It's so fun. You guys have picked this beautiful sparkly crystal from a chandelier, which is lovely. You guys have picked the unicorn tarot, which I love. So that's fun. I'm going to start off with a relationship spread and we're going to get right into it. All right. So this is going to be how you have thought the conversation went. This is going to be how your person thought the conversation went. Interesting. Both of you are showing up as cards all upright. And also you guys seem like, I'm not sure if this is how it's really going to be, but you guys seem like you might be more of like a fun, lighthearted, upbeat conversation you guys had recently. Pile 1's was a big one. So if you guys had an important, big conversation that maybe ended in separation, you might want to pick pile 1. But if this seems more fluffy, and we'll see if it actually is. What actually happened in the conversation. So this is how you felt the conversation went, how they felt the conversation went, what actually happened in the conversation, objectively, not based on either of your interpretations or opinions of it, what actually happened. How that conversation is going to influence you guys as you move forward. So like, what will it bring about? And then where is your relationship kind of going together? Or where is your connection actually progressing or going to? Now, you felt that the conversation, I feel like you thought it was fine and lighthearted and good. So maybe you kept things really light. Maybe you didn't get very serious or very deep with your person. It seems like maybe you were keeping the peace. You probably blurted out some things though. So I feel like it was a lively, upbeat, fun conversation from your point of view where you were keeping the peace. You were fun, lighthearted, maybe you were playful, and it seemed like a good energy. So I get the Fool. It seems like you guys were having fun. It was lighthearted. It was a good conversation. There was a lot of like good vibes in it. You might have messaged each other out of the blue impulsively. Like maybe you were just like, oh my God, pile 2's person. Like, oh my God, my person, you know? So, or they might have been like, oh my gosh, pile 2, hi. Like, I feel like you guys were excited. I feel like you had good vibes. I feel like it was happy. I feel like it went well. So the Fool is taking a risk. You might have taken a risk and said something a little bit like, I don't know about like sexy spicy, but you might have said something a little like enthusiastic, like a puppy. I feel like maybe you felt like you guys were like two playful puppies. I get the 8 of Wands, which is a card about things happening quickly, things speeding up. If you guys saw each other on a trip, if you guys traveled to see each other, then it might have been like a fun, upbeat, happy trip where you guys had good conversation and it was good. The 8 of Wands was something where there may have been involving travel. Maybe you guys spoke about or talked about travel. Maybe you guys talked about a trip you guys would love to take together, or it involved travel in some way. Also, it could just have been just like a very fun, upbeat, happy conversation. And then the Four of Swords about keeping the peace and having things be kind of like, you know, not provoking anything, not, you know, bringing up anything heavy, not bringing up anything serious. So I think your last important conversation, maybe it was just a fun one. Maybe you guys just had a great conversation. Maybe you guys had a great date. Maybe you guys had a lovely talk. It just seems like it was fun. Maybe it was like you were talking as friends. Maybe you were talking as, you know, so you were feeling like it was a lovely upbeat conversation. Your person, your person felt like it was so good. All right, I get the 9 of Cups. I get that your person felt like it was filled with pleasure. I feel like you both felt like it was really like soothing to your souls. You guys both had so much fun. You both had a lot of pleasure and upbeat, lighthearted talking. It was lovely. Also, I feel like your person had the conversation feeling like they were talking to you like a boyfriend or like a spouse or like a romantic partner. So I get the King of Pentacles. So your person also felt like that they were like, wow, I feel like I'm speaking to the love of my life. I feel like I'm speaking to my girlfriend, or I feel like I'm speaking to my boyfriend, or I feel like I'm speaking to my husband or my wife or whatever. Like they felt like they were speaking to their person. That's really beautiful, because the King of Pentacles is somebody showing up, wanting a future and a commitment and everything. Maybe you guys talked about having a commitment. Maybe you guys talked about the future. Maybe you guys talked about future plans, future trips, future traveling. Maybe there was some work that you guys talked about. Maybe you talked about your jobs in some way or money in some way with the King of Pentacles. And I feel like your person held themselves back a bit. I get the Hanged Man. Or in this card, it's called the Hanged Unicorn. So maybe your person held them back a little bit. Maybe your person restricted it. Maybe they were enjoying the pleasure and the happiness of your conversation. Maybe you guys went out for dinner, drinks, dancing, had a good time. Maybe you guys had like good like vibes. But I feel like also maybe your person felt like they were like, oh, I feel like I'm being a partner to pile 2. But they didn't say that. They might have held back. Your person might have had some self-restriction or held back about some things. Maybe they felt like you were holding back. Maybe they felt like you guys were just playing it safe and not saying deeper, you know, matters. But maybe you guys kept it surface, pleasurable, and fun. But your person had a great time. I'm getting King of Pentacles is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. And I get a lot of like fiery, happy energy. I'm getting like Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini, kind of like fun energy. In the past, what happened in your conversation? What actually happened? You guys made a decision to hold back and enjoy the moment, enjoy the now, without having too much stability or building something for the future or too much consistency. So it might have been a spontaneous conversation out of the blue, but you guys might not have a lot of conversations. So it might have been like, you might have been like, oh my God, I heard from my person, you know, like excited and electric like that. And your person might have been like, oh my gosh, I've had so much fun. This is great. So I get the Judgment. Libra energy shows up. I get Hermit, which is Capricorn, Virgo energy showing up as well. 8 of Pentacles in reverse. So I feel like your higher self and your person's higher self felt like you guys needed to keep some things to yourselves. And so you were having discernment. You guys were using wisdom. And you guys had a fun, playful conversation where you felt like you're not going to get too deep. You didn't want to start any arguments. And you definitely wanted to have fun. And you wanted to keep happy, light vibes. So it seems like your higher self and your person's higher selves, your souls, had wisdom to be able to be discerning and just and fair and make good choices. It also seems like, so I feel like you guys were both navigating and ruled by wisdom. Also, I get the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. So you guys might not have seen each other in a while. You guys might not see each other regularly or talk to each other regularly. And so also your higher self and your person's higher self was like, oh, I need to talk to pile 2. Or, oh, I need to talk to my person. Because you guys don't talk to each other so often. So you might have felt like you had to leap at the opportunity when the opportunity was available. So there is that. So you guys jumped on an opportunity that was available, but you were very wise, and it seems like you guys were very respectful of each other and you had good times. How that conversation is going to project you guys forward or kind of pave the way for how you will move forward with each other in the future. I get the World, the Chariot, and the Queen of Wands. So the way it kind of paints the picture is continuing in this same vein is the Queen of Wands in reverse. It might start to, if you guys don't talk about deep stuff or talk about deeper issues at some point, if you guys continue like a superficial fun dynamic, you might feel a little less confident. If maybe they're not connecting with you on a soul level, like in a deeper way, you might feel like, are they really interested? You might start to get a little insecure or a little worried. You might need more reassurance maybe from them. I feel like that in this dynamic also, you might start to question like, am I really desired? Do they really like me if they keep it surface and fun, but they aren't going to take it to the next level or they don't deepen it? That kind of thing. And even if your person feels very committed and very present, if you guys aren't able to like acknowledge, address things and set structures, then it might over time start to mess with your head a little bit. Also, it seems like you might start to get very comfortable in a very superficial, lighthearted dynamic where maybe you don't really show up as your full self. Or maybe you feel like, oh, I can only connect with my person in a way that's fun, but not in a way that's real, or not in a way where I am assertive or confident or able to take up space or able to speak my truth or speak my mind. You might start to dim your fire a bit, or you might feel like it's kind of not serving you as a soul. You might start to kind of get in the background, or you might start to maybe lose yourself a little bit and not really be that full self. I get the World and the Chariot. So number one, you guys might see each other in person again or travel to see each other in person again. These are upright. And I like with the Eight of Wands, which is a card that can represent travel. And then with the Chariot and the World, two additional cards that can represent travel. You guys might be able to see each other in person again, even if you're not the one initiating it. You also might be the one that takes a step back and not initiate it. Also, you might not prioritize your own needs, is another piece. So you might have unmet needs that you don't assert or that you don't meet. So there is a little bit of like that. So that's a little bit of like the caution. So I would say that's like great vibes right now, but maybe not to make it a habit without interspersing other more serious, deeper, real moments. So I would say that, especially because this video is about your most important, a recent important conversation. And if an important conversation with you guys is lighthearted and fluffy, then I would say, okay, well, maybe you guys have a harder time going deep or real or going there. Now, because I would say that normally the lighthearted conversations are the fluffy ones that get bypassed, and then the important ones are the ones that get honed in on. But the lighthearted one was the one that's honed in on. So I would also say normally that it's like, okay, well, maybe it was just like a repair or fun, good vibes or keeping like a fun dynamic, which is nice to feel that you guys are on good terms. But I would say that yes, at some point you would probably want to intersperse in more depth. I get the Chariot, so I do feel like you guys can progress and keep moving forward in this lighthearted dynamic probably for a while. So that's great, especially because your person is very, very set with the King of Pentacles on absolutely still being there for you and reliable for you and absolutely not going anywhere, and they're not going to end anything. So I feel like they would continue along. Not a comfort zone, but like they would absolutely keep going with you. That they have no intention on or desire of wanting to stop it at all. And then I get the World. So I also feel like with the World, this can be looked at as endings or a cycle. But because it's paired to the Chariot, I would say that you guys are probably going to keep continuing with this. You guys would, this I feel like really represents more travel dynamics than anything. But in regards to where you guys are going as a couple in general right now, oh good! Wonderful. Okay, at first when I looked at this, I was like, well, this is in reverse. I don't know how this is going to play for them. But what I love is how it connects to your person. So your person has been feeling this little hanged unicorn, feeling stuck, feeling a little trapped, feeling a little self-restrictive, feeling a little bit like, okay, maybe I need to hold myself back. You might be feeling in the future like you're still holding yourself back. You might have held yourself back a little bit with the Four of Swords. And your person might have held back their kind of King of Pentacles or masked it with pleasure. Your person might have just led with happiness, good times, jovial, good vibes, but masked the more serious part of them, or the more like quiet resolve, the quiet reliability, like almost like I will be there for you forever. That vibe. I will always be there for you vibe. And maybe masked it with, oh, let's have fun. We're having good times. That kind of thing. But what I love, where you guys are going as a couple, which I actually thought might be actually not the best card, is a wonderful card to be in reverse. And I get the Eight of Swords. So where your person is restricted and tied up, the restrictions actually fall out. They fall away. So that is really, really good. So I'm loving this actually. So these swords fall off, and that's lovely. The blindfold, they might still be in denial, or you guys might still not see something or not want to talk about something, or you guys might still kind of put something inconvenient to the side with the blindfold on, but at least the restrictions drop away, and I feel like you guys are going to start to become less inhibited. So it seems like maybe you guys needed this refreshing conversation. So I would say maybe it wasn't part of a repair, but maybe you guys feel like by doing this, it restores a sense of safety, or it restores or cultivates an environment of safety to become more expressive. So the thing is I don't think you're going to stay in this Queen of Wands reversed energy. I feel like you will start to reverse it and start to be, this also might be like you're controlling your temper. So it might also be that you're having fun and you're not going too deep, and you're not letting your anger or frustrations or whatever come into this dynamic. Or you might not express your anger. You might be like, I can only have fun. I can't express when I'm mad. That's also another dynamic that you may struggle with, especially if this only stays surface and superficial. But with this, I actually feel like what this is actually doing, and that might be your wisdom here, what this is actually doing is it's actually providing your person of an environment to feel safe and uninhibited, so they can start to be more expressive. And then when that happens, then maybe you'll be able to kind of reinsert yourself in a way, or make sure that you don't neglect yourself or forget about yourself along the way. All right, Queen of Wands, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo energy, Cancer energy with the Chariot also show up. All righty, so now I'm going to look at what are their thoughts and feelings in regards to your conversation. So I'm going to pick Ocean of Emotion, Divine Masculine, picked some Hermits. Where did you go? There we are. Some Hermits. And I thought I picked, yes, and I did. And I picked Stellar Energy Oracle. So I did this for pile 1, and I feel like this is a great thing to continue with. All right. So I'm going to start with making some piles. 1, to see what they thought and felt about your last conversation in more depth and in more details. 5. Okay. So we have 5 here. Also, pile 1s went long. You guys might go long. I'm not sure. I will have an extended today as well, where in the extended, we're going to focus on more about what are they thinking and feeling about you now today since this conversation, as well as advice for you from goddesses, fairies, and ascended masters. And we're going to be focusing on what will your next conversation be like now. Okay. Okay. So this is not interactive, actually. These are going to be all your messages, and it's going to be very layered. So we're going to see, even though you guys kept things light, I want to see what was going on beneath the surface from your person's point of view in their thoughts and their emotions and stuff. Because they got the hangman. So they got a dynamic where they're restricting themselves and holding themselves back. And so this might give a little insight into that. So what's going on? So independent, and I don't take reversals for the oracles. Independent, I admire your freedom to be who you truly are. So your person did perceive you as somebody that was truly yourself. They felt like you were free. They felt like you were enjoying loving life. They loved your independence and your freedom. And they might have felt like, I don't really have the luxury to be free like that, but I love that pile 2 gets to be. And I get closed off. I need more balance, and I've been keeping my distance to protect you from the karmic. So there's something karmic or a person that's in their life that they've been protecting you from. So that hanged unicorn card, that hangman, is closed off. I've been keeping my distance. And that's also why we got that they're having a hard time with consistency or showing up for you frequently. Even if they will always be there for you, you can always turn to them if you need to, and they're always going to be there if you need help. They may not be consistent or available all the time in your life. They may not talk to you frequently or all the time. But it seems like they feel like you're okay with that because you're independent yourself. You focus on your own life and you're free. So on one side, they admire you that you have this. They kind of wish that they had that a little bit more, I think. They wish they were maybe a little bit more free. I feel like they feel restricted by something or someone karmic, either a romantic partner or a family friend or career. So it seems like they've been keeping their distance though to protect you from something a little bit complicated or dicey. And with closed off, that's why they've been closed off or self-restrict. Even though they love that you don't have to close yourself off or self-restrict. And they love when you are free and uninhibited. And I need more balance. So they feel like, all right, maybe pile 1 has extreme independence and freedom because they have a lifestyle that supports that. I have extreme restrictive energy, or I'm too closed off, or I'm too distant. I'm protecting pile 1 and pile 2 too much, and I need more distance. I need more balance. So I think they're like, all right, I need more balance. I can't be so extremely closed off and distant from pile 2 that we're not engaging. And I need to be maybe not as extreme and free and independent as pile 2 is, but I need to be maybe more in the middle. So maybe they think that they don't have to be so restrictive and closed off with maybe their words, compliments, what they say, etc., but maybe not as open and free and independent as they would normally in this situation because of a circumstance. Then I get courage. I think I can fix this. Time out. I imagine you naked, and my pride and ego still dictate my current actions. So number 1, if you guys needed a repair, this was their attempt to, smooth things over. They might have been like, I really want to give pile 2 just like a really fun night, a really good night where they have fun and they're enjoying things. And I just really want to give pile 2 something happy and pleasurable. I want to make them happy tonight. And I feel like that they were brave enough to do that. They were brave enough to not be distant at that moment. And then I get time out, because especially if they feel like they've been removed a lot or they've been gone, they're like, you know what? I know that I'm not as available as I want to be with pile 2, and I need to fix that issue, and I want to come in and fix it. And this conversation was like a gift. They were like, let's give pile 2 a gift. Let's give them a gift. And that's what it is. Oh my God. Because it's ruled with pride and ego. Let's give them the gift of my company. Oh my God. Is your person a Leo? Okay. Let's give them the gift of my company. Oh my gosh. Okay. So their pride and ego still dictate their current actions, but they might be right in it. If they've been like, you know what? I know I've been unavailable and I know pile 2 likes me. I don't want to make them sad by not being around. Let me give them quality. And also it might be like, if they have a quality time love language, they might be like, let me give them quality time love language. They imagined you naked though. When you guys were talking, they were imagining what you would look like naked. So that is sexy and fun. Also, I get the 2 and the 8, especially August 2nd, also February 8th, and the 2nd and the 8th of the month. All right, what else did they think? Love. They really loved you. It's so beautiful. It says, I am so madly in love with you. So they felt so romantically in love with you. They felt so happy and so pleasurable when they were talking to you. And they felt King of Pentacles. Like they felt like future spouse energy when they were with you. So that's beautiful. But secret admirer, that's it. Yeah, they held back. What they didn't tell you in the conversation, what they didn't say, was that they didn't tell you that they felt like they could be your spouse. They are madly in love with you, but they had to keep it into a secret admirer space. So they were like, oh, I'm crushing hard on pile 2. I'm in love with them, but I have to keep it to myself. So they felt like they had self-containment. They had to keep it to themselves because they want to return to you but fear rejection, and they left because you told them to. So they're afraid of rejection, and that's why they're keeping it to themselves and why they hold back. Your person might be a shy sweetheart that doesn't want to be rejected. They might be vulnerable to you because they're in love with you and they have to keep things secret admirer energy. So also they might have kept things lighthearted and bubbly or whatever because they felt like, I can't share my deep love with pile 2, as well as with I need to protect you from the karmic. What they're saying also is, especially if they have a relationship, they might have to keep things quiet, or if they feel like the families wouldn't approve or friends wouldn't approve or whatever. Again, I'm getting August 8th. I'm getting 2 8s, which is powerful. 1988 can also be showing up as well. So there is that. And again, Leo energy again. I get strength, which is literally Leo energy again. So Leo energy is strong here. And it's beautiful, and it says your strength inspires me. So your independence and your freedom, they look at that as a strength. They look at that as empowered. They also look at you as somebody empowered and strong, and that you are somebody that inspires them. So that is beautiful. And then I get mirrored souls. So they love your strength. You inspire them. If you are 2 Leos, that's also something, mirrored souls as well. So that could be something in this connection. But yeah, they see themselves in you. They see that you guys mirror each other. They see a lot of them in you. And then I get, I need time for me. And then aware that my karmic partner knows about our connection. Okay, so there's another message about a karmic partner. Again, could be a relationship they're in. It could be a karmic person like at work or family or friend. But it does seem like that, and it's probably a relationship if there is third party. And I would say you guys can watch this pile and not be in a third party. And if that's the case, if you're like, yeah, my person's not dating anyone or anything, then no worries. Then these messages aren't for you. They're only for people in third parties. All right. So, and it says, I need time for me because my partner knows about you and I need some space because I can't be making things messy. So there is that. I also get the 4, so I get April or the 4th, and I'm getting April 8th or August 4th and April 2nd and February 4th. All right. And they also feel like their karmic partner knows that you guys have an intensely strong connection. Not only does their person, for third parties, not only does their person know about you, but they know that you have an entirely strong connection. So they don't just know that you exist. They know details. They know dynamics. They know like deeper stuff. So there is that. All right. And then I get manipulation. I know what you want. They know what you want to receive from them. They might have felt like you were also maybe being playful and lighthearted, like, oh, maybe you could kiss me, stuff like that. So I feel like they knew that you were playing around and maybe being a little bit like asking for what you want in like a subtle way or in a playful way or whatever. So yes, hidden feelings. Oh my gosh. So they know that you want them to be direct with their feelings. They know that you're trying to maybe maneuver them or trick them into or being playful into or manipulating them into making their feelings not be a secret anymore. That you're trying to like elicit that or draw that out of them. So they know, they're like, I know pile 2 wants me to share my feelings with them. That I know that pile 2 wants me to not be restricted and uninhibited. I know they don't want me to be this hanged unicorn. And I get Ace of Pentacles, and I've been feeling lost and confused without you. So your person's like, oh man, I don't want to confuse pile 2. I don't want to make them feel confused about my feelings for them because I have strong feelings for them. And I was also feeling lost and confused if they ever went a period of time where you weren't in their life, or during the intervals where you guys don't talk, or during the intervals where you guys are distant from each other, or where they have to distance themselves or remove themselves. They're like, I don't want to confuse pile 2. I don't want to make them doubt my feelings for them. And they also felt like, you know what, I need to give pile 2 something. I need to make them some kind of concrete, tangible, solid offer. I need to do something to show pile 2 that I have feelings for them. And I feel like they know that you were trying to have them show their feelings for you in more of a concrete, direct way. So there is this. So they know you. Okay. And then I also get the number 1. So August 1st, January 1st, January 2nd, February 1st, April 1st, and January 4th. Okay. Now we're going to go to final message. I'm going to do shadow side, light side messages. The conversation. Did it trigger them or did it make them feel happy? I feel like it made them feel happy, but it might have triggered deeper pieces. So we're going to see what shadow wounds got triggered in your conversation with your person. And then where did they feel good about it? So I'm having 3 piles. You guys can pick your pile. And I have 4 light side, shadow side messages as your final message before we get to the extended. So the first pile, I'm going to symbolize it with this big, beautiful, love-filled rose quartz. I think you guys need happy, upbeat crystals. I'm going to do this fun, happy, upbeat crystal for this beautiful amethyst. And then we're going to do this happy cotton candy pink crystal as well. So for you guys, feel free to pick piles 1, 2, or 3. I would pick 1 just because it can get confusing for this reading if you want to pick more than 1. So I would say pick 1 pile, pause the video if you need more time, and unpause the video whenever you are ready. Okay. So since you guys have been watching my videos for a while, I'm just going to race through all these things that I have to say. All right, so first of all, thank you guys so much for all of your likes, comments, shares, subscribes. It really helps me and the channel. If you guys haven't subscribed, feel free to. It's wonderful here. The water's fine. I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you for watching my ads for 30 seconds. You can watch them on silent so they don't annoy you. And after 30 seconds, you can come back to the video and keep going. It gives me credit and helps me in the channel. And thank you guys for all of the donations that you guys have been making for these readings. I appreciate you. And if you want to donate to the channel, you guys can always send me a tip for these readings. You can go to the description box with my PayPal and Venmo there, or the super thanks button. It always helps. So thank you guys. I buy crystals and tarot with it and everything. It's so fun. This is my cat. This is Treasure. You'll see her in these videos if you guys are new. Also, if you guys want a private reading from me, my website is fairyastrology.com, and I give you guys readings with astrology, tarot, and oracle to any situation in your life, but especially love. And we can focus on you and your person or your love life in general. The pricing is based every 15 minutes, and we can do it over the phone or video call. So let me know if you need my help. All right. So back to your reading. For you guys who have picked this beautiful rose quartz, they picked this, Kisses. Yes, blessing it. She blessed it. That's very nice. That's very nice of you. All right, so for you guys, maybe you're a person and you talked about cats, or maybe they're like an animal lover, or there was animals. All right, so number 1, your person felt so many good vibes. I get 3 happy light side messages and then a little tiny shadow. So, light side message, don't lose hope for us, we can work it out. Your person was like, we can work this out. I feel hopeful about this connection. So your person was feeling hopeful and feeling like you are hopeful and that you guys can work it out. And then I get, no one compares to you. I'm full of joy in your presence. Your person felt so happy and so fun. And maybe you know the secret to your person's heart is to have fun. And I feel like it is. So your person feels full of joy, 9 of Cups in your presence. Another light side message. I want to show you who I really am. They really do want to be themselves with you. They want to show you who they are, what they're going through, what they're doing, what they're experiencing. They want that. And then I should have been honest about my feelings. Yay. Yes, your person feels like, oh man, I should have just been honest with pile 2. I know they want me to just be more open and direct with my romantic feelings for them. I should just do it. So they felt like, I want to show you who I really am. I want to be more honest with my romantic feelings. I want to express it and say this. All right. For pile 2, for your person with this beautiful fun amethyst, your person also felt 3 light side messages and 1 little shadow side. So your person felt, I feel safe confiding in you. So your person knows that if it comes to anything real, they do know they can open up to you about something if they need to. Then it says, life would feel empty without you by my side. They don't want to ever not have you in their life. That's why they're King of Pentacles. They're like, I want to love you for the rest of my life. I want to love you forever. Even if it's secret admirer, even if it's friendship, even if it's romantic love, I want to have you by my side forever. It would be empty if you were not in my life. You're too important. And I love spending time with you, enjoying simple pleasures. So you guys had a fun, simple pleasure, and they loved spending time with you. So that is lovely. Their little shadow that did get triggered in the conversation, I don't trust easily. So your person feels safe confiding in you, but there still might be a little piece where they're like, I still don't know if I can trust 100% all the way. Or maybe they're like, I don't trust anyone easily, but I do trust you. So there is that. All right. And now for the last pile where you guys picked that pink crystal, you also got 3 light side messages and 1 little pesky shadow side. Your person felt, I am a better person because of you. So your person feels like maybe you're encouraging them to be a great person, and they feel like you are a wonderful influence in their life now. And I am ready to open up to you because you are just such a good influence in their life. They're ready to open up. I love that. And then they felt, I know it's hard, but please be patient with me, especially because they're not able to be consistent. And so your person knows you guys might still be going through a little bit of a tough one, but that they really hope that you're going to hang in there, and that's beautiful. Shadow side, I didn't believe in myself or in you. I feel like they weren't quite sure if you really truly loved them, or if you really could make it work together, or if you guys could really believe, or if they even believed in their own abilities. But I feel like they're really coming around to it. All right. Okay, guys, so that was your final message. And now I have all of these decks for the extended. So if you guys are going to join me now, you guys are going to scroll down. You guys are pile 2 in the description box. You guys are the rainbow pile. I'm going to focus more on what are their thoughts and feelings about you now with their mysterious heart, their chocolate candy kisses, sugar rush of love feelings, their late night thoughts about you. 3 cards of guidance from ascended masters, goddesses, and fairies. And then the Let's Fall in Love Oracle, which is a prelude to the fall for the future for your next conversation. What will your next conversation be like with them? All right, guys. Well, I'm so glad you're here today. I will see you guys soon. Hopefully, I'll see you in the extended. I'll see you next time in another video, in the comments, in a private reading, or in any of my archives. See you later. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading today. I am so glad that you are here with me. Today we're going to be focusing on what did they think about your last conversation. So I'm very glad you guys are here. You guys have picked the rose quartz. You guys have picked the hedgehogs. And bigger than that, you guys have picked the cute stack of donuts. Yum. Love it. Okay. Anyway, the intro was filmed at this cookie dough place around the corner from my house, which was super cute. And I wanted to get the cookie doughs and they didn't have them. And so they had these little pillows and these little things. And they had this ceramic stack of the donuts. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cute. I totally have to feature that. Kind of reminded me of The Simpsons, Homer Simpson and the Simpsons with all the donuts. So that might be a connection for you guys. Anyways, I'm so glad you guys are here and you picked that pile. Those, objects belong to the cookie dough store, so I could not bring them home with me and feature them in the video, but I am glad you guys are here. So you guys are the donuts pile. And I am putting this rose quartz in frame for you so we can channel for you. I have all sorts of cool decks waiting for you today. And I'm going to start with I was going to say Celtic Cross. Why do I want to start with a Celtic Cross? I want to start with a Celtic Cross. Okay, I have not done that for the other piles. I'm going to see what did they think about your last conversation, and then I'm going to go relationship spread, and then we're going to go into all these other things. Okay, all right, so I'll blow through this a little quickly because otherwise you guys are going to be an hour long, and I do have an extended today, so I will focus on... So I will get into what we will focus on in the extended as we go along in this video. Okay. So I guess I have to do a Celtic Cross spread for you guys. I will take, well, this one just came out as well. So I need to take this as an overarching energy about what did they think about your last conversation. And I would say your last conversation was more of like your last impactful conversation on them. And this is also a good way for you to verify if this is your pile. If you had like a light and fluffy conversation, then I would say you might be pile 2. And if you had like a big conversation, I would say you might be pile 1. So let's see what's happening here. So for you in your dynamics, I get the Emperor in reverse. So the overarching energy is that your person is not taking action on you, or they're not stepping forward. Maybe they are being more reserved. Maybe they weren't able to really fulfill something or be a strong romantic partner for you. They might not be in their masculine. They might be in like a distorted masculine, because the Emperor is in reverse and this is an Aries energy. So I get that they might have had a hard time taking action or being like a romantic partner for you that really shows up. Their higher self, in regards to you, in regards to the last conversation, their higher self was guiding them to stop. Okay. They were listening to their guidance. They felt like, I should not speak to pile 3. I need to stop. So their higher self was guiding them to not engage with you that much. You might have reached out to them and sent them a message and they've never replied. Or maybe you sent them messages, but they were not like really engaging too much in a back and forth with you. Maybe they were super reluctant or super like boundaries up or walls up. It seems like their higher self was guiding them with the Knight of Pentacles to not just go slow, but to stop. So I feel like their higher self was saying, don't do it. No. So I get the Knight of Pentacles, which is also a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, combined with that Aries energy. More details about it. I get the Queen of Fire. All right. If your person is in a dynamic with an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or a Queen of Fire, your person might be like, oh, I shouldn't message pile 3 if this Queen of Fire is around. They might have seen you as the Queen of Fire or the Queen of Wands. You might be the Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. They might see you as somebody, because I'm seeing like, why do they have to stop? They had to stop because of this woman. Now, this woman might be you. This woman might be some other woman in their life. It could be a mom, it could be a sister, it could be a girlfriend or a wife. It seems like because of this female, this divine feminine, they felt like, no, they have to stop. And details about this. And then the 9 of Pentacles, single. Okay, they might have to be like, I can only talk to pile 3 when I'm single. They might think, I can't talk to pile 3 because I want to be single. The 9 of Pentacles represents a single, independent energy. They also might think, well, pile 3 is the Queen of Wands who is independent and single. So right now, your person's higher self was like, oh, I need to stop because either this woman and I need to be single first, or pile 3 is this Queen of Wands, but I want to be single. So for whatever reason, they were being hesitant, reluctant, but guided on a soul level to stop and not take action and don't walk forward with you. So they were feeling divinely guided by their higher self. In the past, I feel like they were not messaging you. So the 8 of Fire, you guys might be in a no or low contact. You guys might be, you guys are in, I would say, a no or low contact or in separation, most likely. 8 of Wands in the past, I feel like they weren't replying to your messages before. Maybe you sent them multiple messages, they didn't reply, and you're like, yeah, what did they think of my last message? But they didn't reply. What are they thinking? Did they get it? That kind of thing. 8 of Wands in reverse, I feel like they felt like they couldn't, again, move forward with you. They couldn't keep like interacting with you in this way. They had to stop. They had to not talk with you. Or maybe if they were interacting with you, that they felt like they had to like really, really hold back or really, really not say what they wanted to say. 8 of Wands is Sagittarius energy, which again reinforces the fire energy sign. What I want to see with this card, I want to see what conversation might they have with you in the future. We're going to go deeper into your next conversation with this deck of cards that we're going to do in the extended. But what might they say to you in the future? 10 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, they might feel like, oh, I was so busy. I was so restricted and so busy, but now I'm not busy. Now I'm not restricted. Now I can talk more. So I feel like they'll probably talk to you. I feel like you guys will have a future conversation. You will have another conversation. But it seems like it has to be when your person is less busy or less tied up or occupied, and when your person is ready and more available. What your person's higher self was trying to warn them about or remind them about in regards to you. The Chariot. So it seems like they were trying to say, like, it's so interesting. Okay, they were trying to say, no, we want you to move forward with pile 3, but the timing isn't right, and you can't do it right now, and you need to stop right now. So it seems like a timing issue. Maybe they're like, you can have pile 3, but it needs to be in a different timing or a different time frame. Or remember, there may be a travel element as well, because the 8 of Wands is travel as well as Chariot. So there is this. I also get Cancer energy. Their conscious mind, when they think about you, I get the 4 of Pentacles. They are closed off and not wanting to open up. So their conscious thoughts and their higher self are the same. So they're thinking, I don't want to open up to pile 3 and be vulnerable. I don't want to be expressive right now. I don't want to communicate or talk in a way that is like very open. I feel like you have had some messages that went unanswered by your person in the past. So I feel like your person, when they don't want to respond to you, they just don't. You're showing up as the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. You're not wanting to be rejected. So there might be a feeling in you where you're feeling rejected, but you're like, nah, my person's not really rejecting me. They just can't talk to me right now, or they don't want to move forward with me right now, or they're in a relationship right now, or they're busy right now, or they're busy at work right now, or, you know, you're saying to yourself, like, no, not that you're in denial, but I feel like you're denying the circumstances maybe, where you're like, you know, I'm not being rejected. I know the situation. I know the circumstances. I know what's going on. I know we can't really talk right now too much. I know my person's busy right now. I know external circumstances are coming in the way, that kind of thing. But you're not wanting to be rejected as well. So you also may have a pattern, or you may have a habit, or you may have messaged them multiple times. Maybe you've double texted them. Maybe you're like, I don't want to be rejected. I need reassurance. I'm anxious. So it might have triggered your fears of abandonment, or you might feel more secure knowing that, like, it's okay. They don't have to get back with me right now. For what they want above all else, I get the Knight of Fire in reverse. If they are traveling, they don't want to be traveling. I feel like they want to be local and be like in your vicinity. I also feel like they don't want to race in just for sex. They don't want to use you for sex. I feel like they don't want to let their sexual desires overpower them or rule them. I feel like they don't want to be ruled by their sexual desires. I'm getting Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but especially Sagittarius here. So there is that. So some Knight of Wands in reverse. And then what the next conversation will be like with you, basically, with the 10 of Wands being more available. 3 of Cups. They might talk to you, if they're in a relationship, they might talk to you about their partner or their relationship. It might be a lighthearted, silly conversation that means not a lot. It might be like a joking, fun conversation. It might be a playful, playing around conversation, or it might be a third-party situation. They might be like, sorry, I was with my family, but now I'm available. What's going on? Or, sorry, I was busy in a commitment and I was tied up, but now I'm not. And how are you? You know, that kind of thing. But I feel like they'll talk about the third-party restriction. If there's a third party romantically, they might allude to that. They might allude to, if it's work or family that's a third party, they might allude to that. They might be like, sorry, I was with my kids for like a week or two and now I'm more available. What's going on? You know, I feel like they'll message you back when they're more available, but there may still be a third party, or they might reference the third party or say like, oh, that's why, or there's a third party. So there is this. Because even though like normally when I get the Queen of Wands at first, I wouldn't normally jump to it being a relationship. But like for whatever reason in my intuition, I was feeling like, I don't think your person's like single and available in that sort of way. But that's only for third parties. Don't even worry if your person is single, or if it's, you know, if you're together, this isn't your pile. And if you feel like your person's single, I don't even know if this is your pile. I feel like this person's in a relationship. I was getting that. Or at least there's an external third party that is affecting this dynamic. So I would say that's this pile. If this isn't you, you might want to pick a different pile. If the other piles are also not you, it might not be this video being your message today, but I'm going to move forward in this way. So let's see what they thought. All right, so your last conversation, this is how you felt it went. This is how your person felt it went. This is the past, what has happened, how it objectively went without your opinions. So this is how it really went. This is where you guys are going because of this conversation. Like, how is this dynamic headed? because of this conversation that you had. And then this is, where is your relationship or your connection with them headed in general? All right. So you felt like you guys had a happy conversation, but it did not lead you to get together or get back together, and you guys did not have a commitment. All right, I feel like this is a pile for people who had like short conversations. It wasn't an in-depth conversation. You didn't go on a date or hang out all night long. This is like you guys said superficial, fluffy conversations to each other, and maybe your person didn't even respond or engage. I feel like you're like, but I didn't even say anything that bad, Solaris. I kept things really light and it was fine. So I feel like with this 9 of Cups energy, I feel like it was happy. You talked about something lighthearted. You talked about something fun. You talked about something nice. I feel like you guys talked about something maybe like a hobby you guys had in common or something you mutually enjoyed. So I get the 9 of Cups. It was something innocent, maybe something flirty, maybe fluffy, maybe something upbeat. So it seemed like it was something fine, but it didn't really maybe have the effect you wanted. With the 6 of Cups in reverse, it seems like maybe it didn't work in getting you guys back together. Maybe your person didn't express like a feeling or a soulmate love with you. Maybe it seems like from your point of view, you felt like, well, we're not really together. It didn't really do anything. I feel like this conversation didn't really do anything, or it didn't achieve what you hoped it would. And I get the 7 of Cups, where it's like, well, you're just kind of hoping and dreaming and fantasizing about this. You're wondering, what are they thinking? Did it affect them at all? Did it land at all? I almost feel like your last impactful conversation was something where it wasn't even very impactful. I feel like it was maybe more just kind of like, oh, sure, or whatever, or fluffy, or surface, or that kind of thing. Because it seems like you guys are not in a relationship. You guys are not in a commitment. You guys are not together. You might know that. You might be like, yeah, I didn't expect it to like get us back together. Even if I hoped it would lead to something, I didn't really have realistic expectations of that. So kind of stuff like that. I'm also getting all cups on your side, all emotions. I feel like for you, maybe it was very emotional. And I'm getting that maybe there was water sign energy for you. So like Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy going on. For your person, I feel like it was, So your person, either you guys have broken up and you tried an olive branch to maybe see if you guys could get back together, or tested the waters, see if they would bite. I get that because of this conversation, they felt amazing about themselves. I get the King of Cups. I feel like actually it was very romantic. I feel like they felt a lot of romantic love feelings for you. This is a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces energy. It really evoked and elicited a lot of feelings. They also view themselves as communicating to you in a way, if they did reply, communicating to you in a way that was like really evolved, really smart, really like mature, really like wise. I feel like maybe like kind and almost like fatherly with their energy, maybe like nurturing, kind, but like masculine. They viewed themselves as being divine masculine. So where that Emperor was in reverse and where their higher self said stop, it seems like they felt like they did a great job. They're very proud of themselves. And I think that they also feel like maybe it showcased them well. So there is that. Also, it seems like they felt like they were being very romantic, even though you're like, where was that romance? I don't see it. Also, maybe your person was just feeling the feels, feeling the romance, feeling the romantic partner vibes. But I get the 9 of Wands, where they feel like either they had to hold themselves back, or that the battle is over, or they did not want to cause a fight or a battle in either your life or with any third parties. And it seems like maybe they felt like they couldn't move forward for you, and that also made them really sad. So I feel like they felt romantic feelings, big romantic partner energy, but maybe they couldn't come forward for you, or it was over, or they were grieving it, or whatever. And I get the 10 of Cups, where they were feeling sad. So I also feel like they wanted more interaction with you, but their higher self was like saying like, no, not now. Or like, oh no, you can't. Maybe they're like, don't mess with pile 3, or, you know, don't race in just for, don't be opportunistic. If you think you can just sleep with them, you shouldn't, you know, so that kind of thing. In the past, what actually happened, I get the Knight of Cups, and I get the Hierophant in reverse, and I get the Temperance. Okay, so it seems like your person did what they were supposed to do. They held back. I also feel like they did reply to you. If they replied to you in a sweet way, they replied to you because they have feelings for you. So their motivation was that they did act romantically. They did reply out of their heart. They did reply. The King of Cups and the Knight of Cups, they did reply this way. Maybe they didn't reply to you in a way that was flowery and expressive and poetic, even though for some of you they may have. For this, I kind of feel like with these cards combined with the Celtic Cross cards we got, that your person was like motivated by love, motivated by feelings, but was still appropriate and was very like self-restrictive, if that makes sense. So I feel like, yeah, your person was motivated by love and they felt a lot of love in their heart for you. Again, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. But the Hierophant in reverse, but they didn't like, maybe they were kind to you. I feel like they were kind and sweet and compassionate and loving and helpful and kind. But maybe they weren't a relationship. They weren't able to act on a relationship. The Hierophant is in reverse. So they weren't able to be in a traditional commitment. So you're perceiving that. You're able to obviously see that. And they're also seeing that. They're like, yeah, no, we're not together. Or like, oh, we're over or something like that. Taurus energy with Hierophant. And then I get the Temperance, where it seems like you guys did your destiny. So that's good. It seems like, you know, the conversation between the two of you was destined to happen. It was positive to happen. It helped. So I do get the Temperance. Also, it's about patience. Maybe it was just one conversation in like a series of events. So there is this. So I would say maybe it was just like one piece in a series of many pieces. Where you guys are going because of this conversation, where you guys are headed in your dynamics. So I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune, you guys are going to feel like you guys don't really have the opportunity to be able to speak with each other maybe openly or freely. I get the Wheel of Fortune. You guys might also feel like there's not really enough like time set aside for this relationship dynamic, or there's not really enough opportunities. You guys might feel like there's never really the opportunity to say what you want to say or to do what you want to do. And I get the Seven of Swords. You guys might feel like if you guys are going to talk to each other, it has to be sneaky or secret or like underhanded, or it has to be like private or something, or it has to be strategic, or you guys have to plan this. I feel like you guys might be trying to go behind people's backs. Like maybe you guys are a coworker situation and you have to do it on the down low. Or maybe you guys, your families don't approve and you have to do it kind of behind their backs or down low. Maybe your person's in a relationship and they're like, if I reply to pile 3, it has to be private. Or you might think, you know what, if I'm in a relationship, I feel like it's your person that is, but if you're in a relationship, maybe you're like, yeah, maybe I have to do it in a way that's kind of like, you know, subtle. And then I get the Lovers in reverse. It seems like you guys maybe not are expressing your romantic feelings for each other, even though I feel like your person feels it a lot. And I also feel like you feel it a lot with the Six of Cups in reverse. So I feel like that with the Lovers card in reverse, you guys might not have the opportunity to be able to talk about these romantic feelings that are there but maybe unexpressed between the two of you. Your person also might have secret admirer energy. If you guys picked another pile, I would say the only other pile that might have similar themes to you, if this doesn't feel quite right but feels similar, would be pile 2. So I would say that your person might feel like, or you guys might keep progressing in the direction where you guys have to talk to each other kind of sneaky or kind of like down low, and that you guys are kind of feeling like you guys never will have the opportunity to confess feelings or to really say what you truly feel for each other. Or you might be feeling like, how do I act on this? When is this going to happen? So I feel like that would be kind of the direction you guys are going in. And then where you guys going as a relationship or as a connection, you guys are going to come up to a crossroads. So you guys are going to have to be making a decision. And it really kind of depends upon like, what are your external circumstances? What's going on in their life? And do you guys want to make a decision to kind of be bold and tell each other your feelings? Or do you guys want to maybe wait to see if the other person ends up doing it one day? Or just kind of waiting in the wings, waiting and seeing if, you know, your person ever gets available, or if you ever get available, or, you know, that kind of thing. Because I also feel like you guys don't really know where you're going with the blindfold over the eyes and feeling like you have to make choices based on your intuition, but maybe you can't go based on what you visually see. You might have to go based on what you're intuiting or what you're feeling. And I feel like you guys are going to come up to a crossroads where you guys are going to have to make some choice. All right. So now we're going to look deeper into like, what did they really think and feel in regards to this conversation more. Okay, so I'm going to do 3 decks for you. I'm going to do the Hermit Tarot, and I'm going to do 5 piles. And this is not interactive, this part. And then I'm going to do messages from Divine Masculine. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do feelings. But I get that they were sad. Maybe you thought you were doing like a pleasurable conversation, but it seems like it triggered them maybe and made them sad because you were at the 9 of Cups upright and they were in like the 10 of Cups in reverse. So there might be more vulnerability here going on than like meets the eye. I will actually. I will. We're probably going to go a little longer. I mean, I usually try to cut them at half an hour, but I think I'm going to go a little longer for you guys because I am wanting to go deep. I feel like there's a lot that's here. And I feel like your last conversation with them was probably brief and not very expressive and not very like connecting. But I do feel that there was like a lot of like unexpressed, unsaid emotions and stuff. My life started when I met you. You mesmerized me at every turn, looking inward, and I would like to work together to have stability. So an aspect that was triggered in them when they had a conversation with you is that they were mesmerized by what you did and said. And the fact that if they feel like they couldn't have it, or that you guys were broken up and they couldn't have it for whatever reason, or if they're in another relationship and they can't have it, or if there's some sort of external situation blocking you guys and they can't have it, it's making them look inward to see where do I need to change things so that I can have it, or that things can be different, because they're not happy with the 10 of Cups in reverse. So my life started when I met you. So even if you try to keep things lighthearted and fun and pleasurable, I feel like it really like set the ball rolling in their mind to really kind of like process a lot. So they're thinking about how like when they met you, they really started like getting rejuvenated for life again. And I get the 2, so February or the 2nd of the month. You mesmerized me at every turn. So like whatever you did actually really dazzled them. They felt very dazzled. And that makes sense with the King of Cups and the Knight of Cups. So there's some fantasy elements, some dazzling elements. And then looking inward. So it really made them like look at themselves. It really made them look inward and do some reflecting. And then I would like to work together to have stability. So they know that they're not really stable with you right now. They're knowing that actually for a lot of them, they're probably nowhere low contact with you. But they would like to work together to have stability, and it's been forcing them to kind of look at their life and look at their choices and their situations and their circumstances. And they're really wanting to see maybe how could you guys work together as a team? How could you guys work together to have stability? Now, I don't take reversals for these oracles. Your person, as much as they're like, I really want to not let my sexual passions ruin everything, I do feel like they have a lot of them though. So I do get the Ace of Wands. So whatever you said to them made them want to jump forward. Even though they didn't want to open up, and even though they didn't take action, and even though their higher self was telling them not to do it, they still felt the desire. They still felt the Ace of Wands. They still felt the sex and the desire and the drive and the passion. And they wanted to join you on that. And they said, time is slipping and I'm worried that it might be too late. So they also are like, but if I don't race in right now, then I could lose pile 3, is their anxiety and their fear. Even if their higher self is like, no, wait. No, don't do it right now. No, time is not right now. They still were like, but. They were like, oh, but if I don't. And then, but they were standing firm, but they did listen to their wisdom, their guidance, and their higher self. And they did stay firm. They were like, okay. And then they were giving you kindness and compassion, and they were grateful for the times where you gave them kindness and compassion. So it says, thank you for caring when nobody else did. So they also feel compassion for you and love you as a person. Like I feel like they love you in a compassionate way where they love who you are. And I also feel like they're grateful for your kindness and they love your compassion and kindness. And also I feel like that they were replying to you maybe out of kindness, out of being like kind and doing something nice for you. Again, I just dream and wish for everything. Here's that 7 of Cups that came up. So where you felt like, man, we don't have a commitment, they also were like, man, we don't have a commitment. So we were both on the same page with that you guys aren't together. And there's a little bit of like disappointment with that. But there's also a little bit of like an imagination and a fantasy and even like a sexual fantasy with that. And a dreamy nature. That's that Knight of Cups energy too. And then our separation, yeah, most of you are in it, is giving us the opportunity to heal and purge negativity. So either between you guys, inside of yourselves individually, or in your lives. So you guys are definitely doing that. And I feel like they do dream and wish for your connection to be lovely. They dream and wish for everything. And then I feel like they and for those of you who do have, if your person has moved on now and is with someone new, or if they are in a relationship or a previous relationship, I get that they feel like, but I've made a promise to someone else and I feel guilty. So your person also might be feeling guilty connecting with you if they made a promise to someone else. And I feel like if your person is not with someone else and you guys have broken up, that you guys are in separation and they feel guilty for maybe breaking up the relationship. If you guys broke up, they might feel guilty for how it happened or what they did or how it went down. If they feel guilty about being like, well, I promised pile 3 I would be with them even if they proposed or if they were married. It's to you, you know, it seems like they feel guilty if they broke that or if they didn't really honor their end of it or whatever. And they're feeling like, well, maybe our separation will help me get rid of the guilt. And if they are in a relationship, they're like, well, we need to be separated. Otherwise, I'm going to feel really guilty and I need to get rid of the guilt. So I feel like either way, I feel like your person, when they talk to you, they feel guilty. And I feel like they're trying to get rid of the guilty. I'm open to compromise. It does seem like that there are some things they are willing to do. So I feel like your person has strong boundaries, but there is still some leeway. There is still wiggle room that can be, you know, done here. And then it says sending telepathic messages so you can connect with me in the 5D. So I'm open to compromise and I'm sending you messages so that we can at least dream together. And I get the Sweet Dreams card, and then we got 7 of Cups for them and for you. So either way, you're going to be dreaming about each other and you're going to connect in the dream time and you're going to connect in the 5D. So maybe their compromise is like, we can't be together for real, but I can be with you in the dream time. And then I get focus. And it says, I know what I want and I can't stop until I have it. So your person, I feel like they are maybe like, I am just focusing on connecting with you in the dream time because maybe in 5D I can't. 3D I can't. So there is that. Also, I get the number 2. So, and that's a 2? Yes. I'm getting 2, 2, and then 1, and then 7. So I'm also getting February 7th, July 2nd, February 2nd. I'm getting... July 1st and January 7th. Okay. I feel like your person's also focusing on their goals, and that's another reason why they can't be with you right now. Also, they're a little bit curious, like, what do you want, actually? Like, do you want something more from me? Like, what exactly do you want? I feel like they might have gotten, not suspicious, but I feel like they might have been like, is pile 1 after me? You know, I feel like they might have been like, why are they asking me this? They could ask anyone, or they have their own life, or why are they connecting with me in this way? So I feel like they don't quite know what you want. I feel like they don't know your motives. I feel like they're like, does pile 3 want more from me? I feel like they're like piqued interest, but also a little confused and a little skeptical. So there's a little bit about like not knowing what you want. I've messed up. Please forgive me for what I've done. They might be like, why is pile 3 still around? I mean, I haven't even treated them that well. They might be confused. They're like, what do you want? Like, I'm not even great to you. I'm not even with you. I'm not even great to you. I'm not even there with you right now. Like, why are you even talking to me? I'm not even amazing. So kind of something like that. I'm also getting February 4th, April 2nd, April 1st, April 7th, July 4th, and January 4th. And then I know we can fix what has been broken, healing, and inner voice. So also I feel like your person feels like there were some things in their life that they should have listened to themselves about and they didn't. Where they should have listened to their intuition about something but didn't, either with you or with others. And it seems like either way, they want to have a good connection with you. They would like to have a healing repair if you guys are in a bad spot. I don't think you guys are in a bad spot, but I don't think you guys are in a together spot. And I feel like you guys are, you know, you guys could heal the dynamic. And I also feel like your person intuitively feels like they would like for you guys to be in good terms and not be on bad terms. Okay. All right, now final messages for you guys. I'm going to go to light side, shadow side messages and see what did that conversation trigger in your person. Light, fluffy messages that have trigger in them shadow side wounds in them. I'm doing 4 cards for each pile, and I have 3 piles here, and we're going to pick your pile. This is the interactive piece. I love this moon. I feel like you guys need this because I feel like with this moon, And it's in amethyst, which is dreamy. It's very crown chakra. I feel like there's a lot of psychic intuition in this pile. I feel like that with this, it's like a lot of 7 of Cups and a lot of 5D and a lot of dreaming. So pile 1 is represented by this amethyst moon. Pile 2, I feel like pile 2 is symbolized by this blue Caribbean calcite and pyramid. And pile 3, I feel like, is going to be represented by this angel aura. And interesting how the crystals have kind of correlated to these different piles. I feel like your person has a very light, good, pure, sweet energy. But I also feel like there's probably more going on here than meets the eye. So, all right. So feel free to pause the video if you need more time to pick between pile 1, 2, and or 3. I would recommend 1 pile because more piles can be a little confusing for you. So pick 1 pile, the one you're drawn to, unpause the video whenever you're ready. Okay guys, well if you guys have seen my videos a lot, this can be a long spiel, so I'm going to make it super condensed, very cliff notes. I just want to thank you guys for watching my videos, for your likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. If you have not subscribed, feel free to subscribe to the channel. We are lovely here. I hope you stick around. I have a lot of stuff coming up in the fall, a lot of Halloween videos that are going to be great. Thank you for watching my ads. If they're annoying, you can just put them on silent and then come back after 30 seconds and keep watching. 30 seconds is all I need to get credit. So thank you guys so much for doing that, as well as thank you for your donations to the channel. If you want to donate to the channel, you can go to the description box and scroll down to where you see my Venmo and my PayPal, and there's a super thanks button as well. So thank you guys so much for the tips you guys have been giving me for these readings. And if you want a private reading, my website is fairyastrology.com. You guys can go to my website. I offer readings in 15-minute intervals, and the pricing is every 15 minutes based on your needs and your budget. And I can give you a reading based on your person or your love life in general, and we can focus on any question you have with astrology, tarot, and oracle. I can do it over the phone or over video call. So I'm happy to be here for you. If you need me, let me know. All right, so for those of you guys who have picked this amethyst moon, your person is feeling 3 shadows. I had a feeling your person was going to feel more shadows than the others. 3 shadows and 1 light. Okay, so shadows are, I'm in a dark place right now. Your person's going through a tough time. You make me feel bad about myself sometimes, or maybe talking to you or connecting with you makes them feel guilty, makes them feel bad. And it's easier to be in a superficial relationship than with you. So your person is feeling a little bit of angst right now. So your person is feeling a little angst. They're feeling it in their shadows. They're feeling pretty triggered. They might be going through a tough time in their life. And they also might feel like being around you or talking to you might make them feel really, really bad about themselves or really guilty if they're in another connection, or if they broke your heart, or if they can't be with you. So they might be feeling bad. And that might be why they don't reply all the time. And then I want you to believe in me again. They also want you to see them as a good person. They want you to see them as somebody that isn't somebody that's a horrible monster that broke your heart, or that's a cheater or whatever. Like, they want you to see their good qualities. They want you to look at them in like with high esteem, you know? They want you to believe that they are a good person and that they could be good in your life. For those of you who have picked this pyramid, this blue Caribbean calcite, your person, I get 2 shadows, 2 light. So the light side is, you're my secret inspiration and maybe secret admirer. So it seems like they are very inspired by you, even if they keep it to themselves. And I keep track of you online. Your person definitely sees your social media and they see your page, and they definitely try to see what you're up to, and they like to follow up with you and keep up with you and see what you're doing. And then it says, I'm living the consequences of my choices. I feel like they also feel like they made some bad choices, or choices that led them to situations in their life that they're like not super happy about right now. So I feel like they have consequences because of choices, and they're like, man, I wish my life was different. I feel like their life has gone down a road that they didn't really want it to go down. And then it says, I'm keeping secrets from you. Yeah, the fact that you are their secret inspiration. So the fact that you inspire them is a big secret that they keep to themselves. They probably don't tell people that you inspire them. So I feel like they do things that you love. Hobbies, interests, fascinations, topics that you study. I feel like they do the same thing because you inspire them. So whatever your hobbies, interests, or fascinations are, they also study this now because of you, or they also do this hobby or try to get better at this skill or craft or trade or whatever because of you. So it seems like they've gone deeper into something because of you. And when they do this activity or study this thing or try to connect with your hobbies, they actually feel closer to you in their heart. And they're like, wow, I wish I could tell pile 3 about this. All right. So then I get this angel aura for you for pile 3 of 3. And your person feels 3 shadows. So you are definitely having your person be in their shadows in regards to this dynamic. It was like a fairy tale when we met. So your person felt like it was like a fairy tale. It was like magical. It was like a princess walked into their life. They were like, oh my God, and all dreamy. And then I'm confused. I don't know if this will work out. They don't know if they can make it work out with their princess, but it was like a magical when they met you. It was like so cool. It was like the first thing that you said to them was like so cool. And then being apart has changed my life. So I do feel like your person feels like, gosh, not being with you makes me so upset. And it really made me go down a different path in my life that maybe they didn't want to go down, or maybe it just changed their life. Maybe it's just a different path, a different future. Maybe we're too different and that's why we disagree and fight. So your person is definitely very aware of your differences, and they're afraid that maybe these differences might make you guys not be compatible or might make you guys fight. All right, so those are some of their worries and fears. Those are some of their anxieties. All right, guys, so now we're going to go to the extended. So if you guys are curious about any of this stuff is really cool. I hope you guys join me there. So we're going to find out more about what are their thoughts and feelings about you today, now that you guys had that conversation. And what are they thinking about you late last night? What were they thinking about you late last night? Also, I have 3 card decks that I'm going to use to channel for you guys advice. So there's some advice about you and your person that you need to know right now. So we have fairies, we have ascended masters, and goddesses. And I'm going to be channeling for you advice from the universe, advice from spirit, and which ascended masters and goddesses are with you right now to help you with your connection with your person. Here's some divinely inspired advice for you. And then finally, we're going to look at what is going to happen in your next conversation with my Let's Fall in Love Oracle, because fall is coming up quickly, and if you guys are watching this video when I'm releasing it, then you know that the fall is coming up quickly, and we're going to check to see what is coming up quickly, or what is your next conversation with your person going to be like. Let's even see, when might you have another impactful conversation with them? 2 options. Either happening now, you guys could have a conversation with them now, or others of you watching in December. Double whammy if you guys are watching this timeless and you're watching it in December and it's happening now. But either way, there's a major conversation in December you guys will have, but there's also probably more conversation you're going to have now. So I would definitely check out the extended if that's interesting to you. You guys are pile 3. You guys are the donuts. Again, sorry I don't have donuts here for you. I am starving. I will go eat donuts after this video. I hope you do too. Anyways, I will see you guys in the extended if you want. And if you guys are not joining me there, no worries. I'll see you guys next time in another video, in my archives, in a private reading, or in my Halloween series coming up. I can't wait to tell you guys all about that in the future. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Oh, let me know if you want a reading.